And here we are in KVNA-FM Studio 1, and I'm Dennis Constantine, and I am very happy to have with us today Tyson Motsenbocker.
You did it. I'm impressed.
So can you play a song for us, Tyson, and
Sure
get
can.
started here? Great.
This is my friend Matt, and we're going to sing Talk All Night for Nothing. I don't want you to text me anymore. Little blue eyes in the sun. Keep your words to yourself for a while. Hard eyes, two-hand punch. 'Cause I don't want your words if I can't have you. If you gotta feel free, but okay too. Maybe I don't think of you anymore. Little brown hair on the run. Maybe I don't somehow believe that this old car could still run. But I don't want to drive and I can't keep the keys. And you don't get to talk if you don't want me. I can talk alright, you can talk alright. We can talk all night for nothing. If your heart is right, get your head in line. 'Cause I can't talk all night for nothing, for nothing. Think I want you to text me some more. Maybe just one more month. Keep your words to myself for a while. Blindside, deep water runs. Guess I still have your words if I can't have you. If you gotta feel free, I suppose that'll do. 'Cause I can talk alright, you can talk alright. We can talk all night for nothing. If your heart is right, get your head in line. 'Cause I can't talk all night for nothing, for nothing. I can talk alright, you can talk alright. could talk all night for nothing.
All right.
All right.
Tyson Motsenbocker in Studio One at KVNA-FM. I'm Dennis Constantine. Tyson, I love playing your music on the radio because I love to pronounce your name, Tyson Motsenbocker. It's such a lyrical name. Has somebody ever some professional tried to convince you to shorten it or come up with some sort of stage name like Ty-Mo or something?
All the time. People are like, your name's ridiculous.
I love it.
It is, it is ridiculous. When I was a kid, my dad was the principal of like my middle school.
Oh.
And he like the kids would always make fun of my name because he was the vice principal. So he was like the one that was expelling kids and stuff. And they would make up all these ridiculous names out of it, and like spray paint on the side of the school and stuff. And my dad told me one time, he's like, Tyson, nobody's gonna be able to spell your name, but they'll always remember that they heard it. And so I was like, you know what, that's true. And so I always took that to heart. I was like, it's a ridiculous name. It has way too many letters.
That's great.
But people remember that they heard it, and it's my name, so I just kept it.
Now, you grew up in the Pacific Northwest.
I did, yeah.
So when you were living there, what kind of music did you listen to growing up?
Well, when I was, I'm trying to remember what the name of it. Do you remember those catalogs where like you had the stamps and it was like pennies, like it was like a penny for a CD? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I don't remember that.
It was like a CD club or something.
Oh yeah,
I forget what it was, but
right.
Yeah, my dad brought this thing home and it was a total scam. Like it's a penny for a CD or something, but then they charge you monthly and they make a bunch of money off you. But
and
none of us realized that. And it was all these records. A lot of them were from the Northwest. And I just picked all of my favorite album covers and got those. So, but some of the early Death Cab for Cutie stuff was really a big deal to me. And then, just a lot of those Northwest bands, like going back to my parents couldn't stand Nirvana, but that was like obviously a huge Northwest thing. And, but yeah, we had like, I think when I got that record club thing, I got Mutations by Beck and Kid A by Radiohead and the Foo Fighters record. And
Good
a couple
stuff.
others that were like, it was amazing. It was like such a great learning way to learn.
So that's
about
what
music.
influenced your music style?
Yeah, in a lot of ways it was. I think I tend to like pick one record and then I just like learn, I like listen to it on repeat and then I move on. So that's kind of what I've done my whole life is I'll find different records that I love. And but yeah, the Northwest, I think actually like more than anything, the landscape of the Northwest,
Right.
When I hear a Northwest band, I can almost always tell because it sounds like the Northwest to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like something that's completely removed from the rest of the country, and it sounds like the forest and the mountains. And,
That's cool.
and people that are a little bit sad.
And then you went from there to Solano Beach.
Yes.
What took you to Southern California?
I got a job. I never thought that like making music was realistic. And I think maybe like when I started, it was less realistic than it is now. Just like the way that there was like a pretty formulaic way of making music, and either you were going to be a really big deal or you were going to die. And so I got a job at a booking agency in Portland, Oregon after college. And I graduated from college in 2009. So right when things were really starting to dive in every way. And I got a phone call like a week before I was supposed to start at the booking agency that said that they'd gone out of business. They were done. And it actually wasn't just me, but a lot of my friends from college, they all lost their jobs or got unhired.
Wow.
And so we kind of like, I was on a phone call with one of my friends and I was like, well, if we're going to work construction or like at Starbucks or whatever, we might as well do it someplace that we like. Like you can do that anywhere. So
Right.
We all moved to North San Diego and just like surfed all the time and got a little house right by the beach there. And there were like 14 of us living there. So that was why I moved there. And most of them have since, gotten married and stuff and moved on to other things. But it's been a really good home to me and a good place. So, yeah.
Now, I also read that you hiked from San Diego up the California coast to San Francisco. How did that all come about?
I did. My mom passed away a few years ago, and she was one of my best friends and just my hero. She was an amazing person. And she told me before she died, she said that she said she was Irish, 100% Irish and very Irish. So like pretty straight to the point. And she said, Tyson, you're really bad at feeling sad, which is true. And you need to figure out a way to be sad about me. That's what she said. And I was like, well, what do you suggest? And she said, just do something irresponsible. And I was like, something irresponsible? I was like, that's like the worst motherly advice of all time. And she said, just pick something irresponsible and stupid and do that. And then while you're doing that, you can think about how you're sad that I'm gone.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? And she's like, I don't know, you do irresponsible, stupid stuff all the time. Just pick something. And and I'd been touring up the West Coast a lot, and so I'd driven that stretch of highway a lot.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like it was my way of saying like, I think just the idea of all the things that I'd been missing, with like it was symbolic of the way that I'd been living my life, which was that I thought my mom was going to get better, and I was living in denial of her being sick. So I was kind of rushing past some of the really beautiful moments with her, and like being on tour, it's the same way. It's like you're driving up the California coast, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And,
Right.
You just
got to
trying
get to the next gig.
Get to the show. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to walk all day, every day in this place and see it. And it was the best thing I ever did.
Wow.
It was filthy and really hard, and my legs and feet hurt. And I slept in a bunch of people's fields and stuff, and met a bunch of homeless folks and people in transition. And but it was easily the most worthwhile thing that I ever did, was just to take like a month and a half and just walk every day. So
I love the storytelling in your songs, the imagery you paint with the words. Now, I've talked to a lot of songwriters over the years, and some consider their songwriting a kind of a job, like a 9-to-5 job. You go in, you sit down at the desk, you write the thing, and then others just are totally inspired and get the message at 3 a.m. You know, what is your songwriting process like?
it's a little bit of both. I think I have a few friends of mine, Matt being one of them, and then the other guy on our tour, his name is John Van Dusen, and they just sort of like songs just kind of pour out of them like water. And I'm more somewhere in the middle. Nice.
Go ahead. I'm
That's
sorry.
Okay. No, that's cool. I think like my songwriting is somewhere in the middle. So what I'll do is I'll take a month and write a song every day. And sometimes those songs are good. A lot of time they're not. But pretty much all of the songs that have been the most honest, the most true to where I'm at in the world, and they've come really fast. Like the first 5 songs on my full-length record were pretty much all of them were written in like under 25 minutes. It was just like they just came really fast. But I think that kind of doing that work of like sitting down and just writing something and finishing it regardless of if it's good or not is something that opens up that space where you can, where those moments come. It's like kind of that exercise where those come later, but yeah.
So your album, Letters to Lost Loves, came out a couple years ago. You working on a new record?
Yeah, I put 2 EPs out just like this last year, just a couple of short EPs, and yeah, I've got like a Dropbox with like 80 something songs in it, and I just want it to be. I think like I'm still in the old school of thought when it comes to records. Like I want my records to mean something. I don't want them to just be songs. Like I want them to be like a book, you know, like to have a story and a sound and a cohesive feeling about them. And one of the things that's so interesting is that like leading up to my first record, it was very clear what I was doing. It was like I was trying to make a living playing music. I was living in California, where I felt alienated. Like it's a very status driven place with a lot of money, and I was nobody with no money. And so like kind of these conflicts there, and then also obviously my mom being sick, and then all of those things coming together to create this like crisis of faith and crisis of being. It was really easy to write a record in that space. It was just like I was one thing, which is that I'm poor and my mom's sick and I live in California.
Wow.
And now since that time, since I did that record, there's been so many experiences that are in all these different places. So if I look at that collection of songs, there's sections that I'm like, okay, these ones go together and these ones go together. And so what I'm really trying to figure out is how do I make something cohesive, and how do I make something that's cohesive that has a message that I want to put into the world? You know, it's more than just having something that's a thing. Like I want it to matter. I want it to mean something and be a unit, and hopefully something that like will burrow into people's lives and become something that they care about and something that comforts them and brings them into tomorrow. So I could go into the studio tomorrow and make a full-length record, but I just don't want to. I don't want to be like a content machine. I want to be something bigger than that. So So there will be a new record when I'm ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've been playing Evangeline a lot on the
Yeah.
radio. We'd love to hear you play it live.
Awesome.
All right. Tyson Motsenbocker in Studio One at KVNA-FM.
Well, you stood slow. It's the way I remember you being. The summer is slow. Innocent love growing hard and strong. Teeth in. So when the sky grew dark, like an old glass jar, black dye in the water as a circle spun, we were the lucky ones. When the thunder rolls, you show me what a love can be. When the cold wind blows, discover what a love can be. If the darkness holds, oh my sweet Evangeline, you are the wild eyes shine. You are the wild eyes shine. You shivered cold, the wind and the water side meeting. The summer goes, you wave a farewell inside towards home because you keep it. So when the grass bent down under the loudest sound, dead silence surrounding and what was to come, we were the lucky ones. When the thunder rolls, show me what a love can be. When the cold wind blows, discover what a love can be. If the darkness holds, oh my sweet Evangeline, you are the wild eyes shining. You are the wild eyes shine. You are the wild eyes shine.
All right. Tyson Motsenbocker, thank you so much for coming and playing for us today, Tyson.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you.